when we have those fear responses, um, it shuts everything down. It shuts our creativity down. It shuts our insight down. It shuts our capacity to navigate down. And all we want to do is run and hide and stay away. Right. So there was an experience when I was I guess it was in 2005. And I had a producer call me and invite me to play my flute on his CD. And I agreed. I'd never done it. And I'd be playing with artists that I've never played with before. I'd never done that either. It was going to be improvisation. And I was excited about it, but I was scared. And then the day came and I had a trigger that morning. And at that time, my triggers could really take me down for like days, weeks, months, even depending on which trigger, which emotional pain or vulnerability it hit. And so this trigger happened, and I was like, okay, I can't do this. This is a sign. It's not for me. I can't do it. And I was about to call to cancel. And then I heard an inner voice saying, are you really going to let your traumas rule your life like this continually? Because if you do, you're not going to have a life. You're going to be so isolated, so alone, and you're just going to be cowering in your little corner of the world, and you've got so much goodness to share. Why aren't you, fighting for your dreams? That was the voice that I heard in my mind, like a high self, call it, or angel, I don't know. And then all of a sudden it shook me awake, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's true. This is an amazing opportunity. Who knows if this is going to happen again? So then instead of calling him to cancel, I called a taxi. And that changed my life in such a huge way. So this is my CD. This was released in 2005. And I got to the studio, I was trembling, I was shaking, and he just said, okay, get in your spot and just start playing. And I'm like, oh my God, okay. So I played, and I improvised with another woman. She was singing, she did vocals, so my flute and her vocals were sort of intertwining. On the CD, that song is called Divine Creation. My albums are on Spotify as well. And I was just like on this high adrenaline the whole time. And then at the end, he offered me free studio time to make this CD. And so look at that. And then I made the CD, and then in my performances, and I would sell my CDs because I performed a lot in Vancouver at the time, people would call me or stop me in the lineups at grocery stores, say, oh my God, your music puts my kid to sleep. Or one lady, her cat sleeps to my music every single night. That was the most endearing story. Or they had spontaneous healings and all kinds of stuff, all kinds of goodness that I never imagined, because I started playing the flute for my own healing. I played alone for the first 9 years of my life as my own communication to life. And then when I moved to Canada, a First Nation elder invited me into their circle, and then found out I played the flute. It says, okay, you're not playing for yourself anymore. You're playing for the people. And then that's how this producer heard about me. So that fear could have froze me. That fear would have blocked so much goodness from myself and from the expression of what life has given me to express. And I believe everybody has something to express, be it, I said last week too, be it just how you interact with somebody at the grocery store. There's goodness to share. We're here to share goodness with each other in whatever way that expresses itself, creatively, artistically, or through the expertise in our work or our way of being with each other. But our frontal brain, if we don't develop it strong enough, the limbic brain will constantly shut down connections to other people and opportunities.